Hello! Recently we got pretty significant balance changes mainly affecting sniper rifles, bolties specifically, so we are going to rate all of the sniper rifles currently available in the game. But before that, let's quickly talk about other changes as well, because some of them also affect the sniper rifles. A lot of artifacts got nerfed, reducing their healing effectiveness, but also the Polyhedron is now significantly weaker, tanking around 57% of the damage it used to absorb. To compensate it, the effect regenerates almost twice as fast as before, but it's still a big nerf, making sniper rifles and shotguns stronger. KS-23 got nerfed quite a bit, but 700 EHP one-shot threshold is still insanely high, so I think the nerf was not harsh enough. Ike also got nerfed a bit, lowering the one-shot from 625 to 600 EHP. Pancor's 2-tap threshold got nerfed too, so all of the Moria House residents can finally celebrate. It took a very long time, but the nerf is here. Who am I kidding? They are still going to be mad because the nerf wasn't harsh enough, and they already developed a PTSD from this gun. There are also other rather insignificant buffs and nerfs, like small nerf to MG3, and weirdly enough, the Black Hole artifact got a very small nerf. Some people even call it a buff, because its weakness to fire was replaced with a bleeding protection debuff. I'm not so sure if it's a buff, but the artifact is still very strong, and partially I'm glad that they didn't completely nuke it out of the meta, like previously they did with Shard. We might see another nerf to it, and I hope it will be happening in small steps until it's balanced, because I really hate the idea of nerfing people's expensive builds to the ground with just one balanced patch. Alright, back to the sniper rifles. All of the bolties are overall stronger than before, they do more damage and can easier one-tap. The fast shooting bolt rifle category, however, got completely removed, and now both the VSSK and Karbach have only 40 fire rate and are in the same category as guns like Macmillan and Gauss. So let's start rating our snipers. First, we have the M300 JTAC, which is a great gun that needs to be upgraded in Arsenal. Usually when trying to compare different guns, I rely on time to kill calculator tool, but in the case of slow shooting guns and especially bolties, it's not very useful. So instead I find the one-tap thresholds to see which ones are stronger, since raw damage is not enough now that all of these guns have different headshot multipliers. I'm not going to throw all of these boring numbers, but Gauss rifle can one-shot the most tanky opponents. Then we have Macmillan with its scary headshot multiplier, L96, Karbach, M300 and VSSK is last, but it doesn't mean that it's the worst. More about that when we get to the VSSK, but now let's put the JTAC into D tier because of its low damage and the need to arsenal it, which is a pretty significant downside. Obviously, if the gun was really good, it wouldn't be a problem, but being both bad and requiring arsenal upgrade is a deadly combo. 100% deserves that spot in D tier. CR380. This gun was an exclusive reward for high position in the event leaderboard, so very few people actually own it. The fact that I don't get to play against this gun together with some weird statistics mixed in, like 20% electric damage, makes it tricky to rate it. But it seems to be a weaker version of SVDM that deals less damage and draws more attention to your shooting position. If you miss the headshots, it's less punishing thanks to ignoring the plates, but I still have to put it in A tier. If it becomes available as a ticket reward, it's not going to be a top priority to obtain without receiving any buffs to it. FN Scar SSR. On paper recoil is pretty small, but with its high fire rate it's possible to miss shots at bigger distances. Damage is not great either, but it's usable. C tier. And we have the legendary Gauss rifle. It's the best bolty in the game. This class is not the strongest, but with the Polyhedron nerfed it can be fun to use. I believe it's possible to find a good use case for this gun where it's going to shine, so I'm putting it in S tier, but it's at the bottom of that tier. If someone tells me Gauss should be in A tier, I'm fine with that, but there are always some specific scenarios in which different types of guns will perform worse or better. Karbach received a massive nerf with its class change to slow shooting bolties. One-tap threshold is horrible, and the only thing saving this gun is the fact we can load every bullet individually, which is pretty useful for playing operations as medic. L96 is an okay barter bolt action sniper, nothing amazing. B tier. Compared to other bolties, Macmillan especially heavily relies on hitting the headshots. It does have low base damage, but a huge multiplier. With SBP ammo, it's not that far from Gauss, but it's a bit weaker. MK14 does have a group of fans that love this gun, but mainly because of the way it looks and the access to jam mag. It was underperforming for a long time and they actually buffed it this patch. It's no longer the worst sniper rifle, but it's still pretty weak, so unless it gets buffed again, I have to put it in C tier. I was mentioning QBU in some of my videos and there is a reason for that. This is the only sniper rifle chambered in 545, so it pairs well with guns like A545 or QBZ. Basically, it's a VSS Vintorres, but in a different caliber and with option to use all of the 545 magazines, so you can even slap a 75 round drum mag on it if you want. It's a full auto sniper rifle, so you can defend yourself if someone rushes your position, and since you have more bullets, it's more comfortable than VSS, and you can take down multiple enemies. Easily S tier in many different scenarios. Snajperskaja wintowka Czukawina. In the real world it's supposed to replace older SVDs, but in the game it's kinda mid. It's usable, but since you need to upgrade it in the arsenal, I don't think it's worth the effort. And finally we have the SVDM. Basically, Dragunov is the guy Chukavin's girlfriend tells him not to worry about. Very solid, good damage and rate of fire. You just can't go wrong picking this rifle. I really want to make a video specifically about this gun. Let's go, a well-deserved S tier. This one looks like VSS, but don't be fooled because it's actually the VSK-94. It's a cheap copy that comes from Gampa boxes. But if you start upgrading it, you will quickly realize that it also requires an arsenal upgrade and that you can't use your VSS magazines with this piece of crap. 100% D tier gun. Probably even worse than M300. VSSK. It used to be almost identical as Karbach. I made a video where I said it's the best sniper rifle, but after this rebalance, it's a completely different gun. And weirdly enough, it seems they decided to turn it into a noob gun. It doesn't have any headshot multipliers and even limbs take same damage as chest. So some crazy people came up with an idea to use a module that increases the limb damage and just aim for the legs. I don't really like what they did with this gun, but it's usable. I'm putting it in a bottom of the A tier. VSSM is a very solid full auto sniper that pairs well with other 9x39 guns. They all have pretty low max sizes, so it's a bit limiting, but there are some really good options there like SR3M, which I made a video about, and it's still pretty much just as good as back then. Vintorres used to be an S tier gun, but now I would rate it as a strong A tier. WA2000 or WA2000, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's not obtainable anymore. It was replaced by SVDM in the barter tree and it's pretty good, but I would say SVD is a little bit better. Solid A tier. Wife is a blueprint upgrade to SVU, which then we also have to upgrade again, this time with the help of Arsen. Honestly, I was sleeping on this gun because literally nobody uses it in the European server. I hear it's the same story in Russia, but apparently Americans love this sniper. So I got curious and checked how it compares in terms of time to kill, and surprisingly it's very strong. I didn't have opportunity to test it myself yet, so I don't know how annoying the recoil is, so just because Russian server doesn't seem to consider this a top pick, I'm going to play it cautious and put it in A tier, but with the idea that it might actually belong in S tier. It definitely sparked my interest and it's worth checking out. Finally, PTRDM, which is not even classified as sniper rifle by the game. Instead it's a heavy weapon, comes with a huge 15% movement debuff, offers almost as huge magazine size of just one bullet, costs a fortune on auction house and ignores armor plates and instantly destroys them. It deals extra damage based on the percentage of missing health, so in theory it could be useful in group battle scenario to finish opponents. But in the end, it's just a very expensive meme gun. I bet it's fun, but personally I never died to it. I don't even know how to rate this toy. Definitely not very strong, so let's put it in B tier. It doesn't matter that much. Barely anyone owns this gun, so if you're unhappy with this placement, I invite all of the 10 people who actually use this gun to come into my comment section and voice their disappointment. Thank you for watching. Please consider checking my other videos and subscribing. Bye bye.